Hey, 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 you're waking up with Craig. Good morning on Tuesday, November 13th. How's everybody doing out there? Tony Adams said, play for the name on the front of the shirt, and they'll remember the name on the back. That's what winners are about. Winners play for what it says on the front, and they don't give a damn about the name on the back. Because they know if they win, if they give everything they got, people will always remember what was on the back of their jersey. Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, LeBron James. People know their name because they are winners. Because they gave everything they had for the name on the front, and forever we will know their name on the back. Now, if we're going to talk about winners, let's talk about the college football playoff. That is the buzz now. Nobody remembers what you did in September. October was fun, but we are here for November football. Now, let's be real. It's about the top 6 teams. You know what? It's about the top 5 teams and maybe one team outside the top 5. And that team is not Oklahoma. Oklahoma discussion is over. I'm tired of it. They don't play defense. Yes, they put up a lot of points, but they are unreliable. They were 1 2-point conversion away last week from losing to Oklahoma State. Do you know who they have beat this year? They have wins against Florida Atlantic, UCLA, Army, Baylor's decent, but not even ranked, TCU, Kansas State, Texas Tech, and Oklahoma. And their loss was to the ranked Texas team. They still have to play Kansas, who is garbage, and West Virginia, who is good. But is one good win going to get you in the college football playoff? No. Discussion over. I don't care if you're Kyler Murray and you can sling it and run all over the field. Your team isn't deserving of getting in. You're out. Enjoy a whatever bowl game you want to be in. Georgia. Now they got wins against Florida 15 and Auburn 24. They have to play number 1 Alabama. If they beat Bama, discussion over. They're in. They could be whoever else they want. They could have a loss to whoever. I don't care. You beat Bama, you're in. So that brings us to where we're at. Do we think they're going to beat Bama? Not a chance. But you never know what's going to happen. So where does the pecking order come? Alabama has beat 16 Mississippi State, 7 LSU. They are to play 24 Auburn. Probably going to be a 2-touchdown game at the very least. And 5 Georgia, which I actually think will be somewhat a close game, but I think Bama will still pull it out. Clemson, they beat Syracuse, ranked 13. They beat NC State, ranked 14. And they beat BC 17. And I don't want to hear the talk about how BC lost their quarterback. They would have lost anyways. Notre Dame, they beat Michigan, number 4. I don't want to hear the garbage about how it was the first game of the year. You play all of them because you know they might matter. Northwestern was ranked in the AP Top 25, and tonight when the rankings come out, I bet you they're just at 25. They're at 24 for the rankings. They have a big test. Yep, they're going to the Bronx, the Yankee Stadium, to play number 13 Syracuse. And I'm not going to lie, Clemson beat Syracuse with like 40 seconds left by a touchdown. Syracuse is fucking legit. Now Michigan might be the most impressive or most surprising team right now. They beat Northwestern, who I just said will be ranked. They beat Penn State, who's ranked 20 right now. Michigan State, ranked 18. And Ohio State is who they have left to play, ranked at number 10. Now, here's where it gets tough. If Ohio State beats Michigan, are they in? Alabama would have to beat Georgia to give Georgia 2 losses, and I think Ohio State would be that 4th team. Now, do I think they'll beat Michigan? No. And if Michigan beats Ohio State in Columbus, Ohio, they go to number 3, and Notre Dame would be 4. Notre Dame loses, they're out. Their schedule is good enough to put them in undefeated, not good enough with 1 loss. I think it's really going to finish up with Alabama 1, Clemson 2, Michigan 3, Notre Dame 4, unless they go with the head-to-head and give Notre Dame over Michigan. I think that's how they should do it, but I know the committee's a bunch of idiots. So let's talk about other teams that people want to put in. What is this freaking garbage about Washington State? Do you know who Washington State played this year? Forget they're in the garbage Pac-12 that shouldn't even be in the Power 5 anymore. They suck. They played Wyoming game 1. San Jose State, Game 2. Eastern Washington, Game 3. Those are like, they might as well be Division 3 schools. What, are we freaking kidding? Are you kidding me? And their first real game, 4th week at USC, loss. Then they played Utah, who was okay. They've started to fall off the cliff. Oregon State sucks. Stanford didn't have Bryce Love. Cal, they won by a field goal. And Colorado, they're okay at best. They don't even have a win on here with a team in the top 25. They still have to play Arizona. Great. That's awful. And Washington, who's ranked 25, and I don't even know if they're still going to be in the top 25 after Northwestern probably is going to pass them. And it's at home. They don't even have a road game, and they're ranked 8th. Are you kidding me? West Virginia went in and at least beat Texas on the road. Put them ahead of them. What is this stuff? I mean, Minshew is good, but he is number 8 in the country. Get them outside the top 10. That is awful. Let's be real now. But the real question is, will anyone beat Alabama? And I think Alabama's toughest matchup isn't Clemson. I think the team that gives Alabama the most trouble is Michigan. And honestly, I think if Michigan matches up with Clemson, their defense is playing so well, they could get to Trevor Lawrence and give him a game. But let's be real. If they come out with the real top 25 rankings, Alabama should be in the top 5 spots. They are unreal. Tua is a stud. They got 3 running backs that could start for any other team in the country. They got wide receivers who are going to the pros and D linemen that friggin' eat like it's Thanksgiving every single game. Alabama gonna win the national championship. I saw something that was quite crazy the other day. Someone tweeted that if Alabama and Clemson played at a neutral site, the spread right now would be 1.7. Are you serious? You're telling me that Alabama would only have to win by 2 points against Clemson. Trevor Lawrence, he's going to be a stud someday. He can friggin' sling it. And I love Dabo Swinney. He brings some fucking energy to that team. But I'm going to tell you something. Nick Saban knows everything. And he's got a kid in Tua that can do it all. I bet you Tua could go out there and kick better than frickin' half of the kickers in the league. He could go run routes, and that man has a cannon. He can frickin' sling it. He threw his first pick against LSU, who's ranked 7th in the nation. Before that, no picks. Tua is unreal. Alabama, national champs. But you know what? The other 3 teams that's going to be with Bama, I think it's Clemson, Notre Dame, Michigan. But we're going to find out here pretty soon with November football. It's about to get real, and nobody cares about the crapola bowl games that goes along with it. They care about the top 4 teams. But as much as I love to talk about winning, there are those teams out there that love to lose and have perfected sucking. And some of them are the Raiders, the Cardinals, but I think the team that has perfected losing, not just on the court, but off the court, in the front office, and with everything they do, the Minnesota Timberwolves. You are offered 4 first-round picks from the Miami Heat. Go get a guy like Zion Williamson or a stud, 4 of them. But instead, you trade him to the Sixers to get Saric and Covington, who are average or good basketball players, but they're no superstar or potential superstar in return, and you get what? A couple picks? That is godright embarrassing. Whoever the GM is, gone. Owner should just give up the team to somebody else, because that is a shit show that I would want nothing to do with. I wouldn't even want to be a part of it. If I just have my picture in the building, I would go and take it down, because that is embarrassing and I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. The Timberwolves suck so bad. But everybody's putting it just on the Timberwolves. I don't think the Sixers really won out here either. Yes, they got Jimmy Buckets. He's a stud. But you gave up shooters. You gave up 2 shooters here. Covington and Saric can shoot. Do I think they can raise the Timberwolves to where they need to be? No. But Jimmy Buckets can only score so much. He's going to get double teamed or game planned for. Now what do? Simmons can't shoot. He can be ambidextrous or whatever. He couldn't shoot if I gave him 3 hands, for crying out loud. And Fultz is looking like the biggest bust I've ever seen. I mean, I'm only 20, and I thought that Aguayo, the kicker from Florida State to the Bucs, was the biggest bust. But Fultz is giving him a run for his money. He is awful. He can get to the rim, yes. He's small. He's not a great defender. But, God, can he not shoot? I don't know if the coaches ruined it or he just sucked in general. But he played at Washington, for crying out loud, so he wasn't too great to begin with. But then you have J.J. Redick. He's a shooter. He is a stud and has been. He can friggin' shoot it from anywhere. But then what do you have after that? Embiid at the rim. You got no depth now. Now someone's in foul trouble. You got no-name brands coming in. You got less than Hannaford brand. Like, seriously, come on now. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think that they're going to be top 3 in the East. I think the Raptors are looking good right now. They have depth. The Celtics are going to figure it out. Brad Stevens is a friggin' genius. He should win Coach of the Year every year. Tatum's a stud. Hayward's a stud. Kyrie's a stud. They'll get it together. And the Bucks are good. The Bucks are good. Brook Lopez was hitting threes the other night, so everything's just falling for them. And the Greek Freak he's a stud. He's absolutely incredible. He's one of the only people that can guard Kevin Durant, for crying out loud. So then you have the Sixers. Do I think the Sixers can go into Toronto and win a 7-game series? Nope. Go into Boston and do it? Nope. And you're not even going to go into Milwaukee and do it. Do I think they can win a couple games? Yeah, but you look, even the first game of the year this year, and the Sixers got embarrassed by the Celtics. Last year, I mean, all the odds were against the Celtics, and they still won with backup Terry Rozier. And that's the depth that the Celtics have that the Sixers just don't. They traded away 2 shooters, so now Ben Simmons has to shoot. Oh, yeah, that's going to work out well for you, Sixers. However, as much as I love to talk about how bad that trade was, it's time to talk about some football. There are 2 major points I got to get to today. We're going to start with the Buffalo Bills. Today, they finally released Nathan Peterman. I guess throwing 4 interceptions in 1 half wasn't enough. I guess the locker room saying that they will divide and quit and all this if Peterman starts again wasn't enough. You needed to have Matt Barkley come in and show you that he could win the game to release Peterman. Nathan Peterman is so bad. I don't know if he would play for a Division III football team at this point. I don't know if the Legally Blind all got together and went out there and played. He would play for them. He is absolute garbage. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to be nice about it. He sucks, and how he ever made a team is ridiculous. I understand Colin Kaepernick and other people have some issues off the field and stuff, but God, I'd rather have an off-the-field issue and someone who could throw a simple 2-yard slant than Nathan Peterman throwing to the other team, for crying out loud. I wonder if you put the other team in Bills jerseys, or you went out and you were playing the Jaguars that day, if your team had a Jaguars jersey, if he would actually throw you the ball. I think he purposely tries to suck. He has perfected sucking. The other topic today is we have maybe the game of the year with the Chiefs and the Rams, and we're playing it in Mexico. Now that's cool, whatever, but the field is in awful condition. Who would have thunk it? We play in London, we play in Mexico. The fields are in awful condition. You would think we would have someone down there to redo the field, so we'd put some time and money into it. Instead, we're one step away from a Todd Gurley injury, or Jared Goff, or Patrick Mahomes, Kareem Hunt. I think these types of games need to be played in the United States at someone's home field. I get it. You want to go send a team to Mexico. Go send them the Raiders and the Cardinals. And give them that crapola game and televise it in Mexico, for crying out loud. Don't even show it here in the country. It is awful. But this type of game could be a Super Bowl matchup, and we're going to go play it on awful grass that players are slipping on and already complaining about. I was looking up earlier on the USA Today, and they were telling me how bad the conditions are. I mean, you can't even take a step and you're sliding. What are we doing? Roger Goodell again has given me another list to fire him. He has given me a reason to fire him. And he's awful. But I won't even get into Goodell today. That's like a 4 podcast long discussion. Now, let's look into the game of the day. Tonight's game of the day, I got the Wisconsin Badgers versus the Xavier Musketeers. The Badgers are a 1.5 point favorite. Neither team is great, but they're good programs with a good history. And I'm waiting for the Badgers to get back to where they can be. And Xavier has shown me at times that they can be good, but I need them to be a big school. And Wisconsin is good. Wisconsin is a big name school that Xavier can compete with tonight. I think it's going to be a great game. I wouldn't bet on it, but I would tune in and watch it because I think you're going to see some very good basketball tonight. That's going to conclude today's episode 1 of Waking Up with Craig. I hope you join us tomorrow, same time, 8 a.m. It was a good show, and it was our first show, and I hope you liked it. I hope you tune in tomorrow. Thanks for listening, and keep on balling.